Yo, what's up? This is your boy Postman, and you're tuned in to Post in the Diary Room. Welcome to Post in the Diary Room. And as you may know, every day is a good day to get a delivery from the postman. And of course, if this is your very first time tuning in, please kindly like, share, subscribe, comment, do whatever is necessary to engage with the content, and most importantly, enjoy the review. Yo, man, it's good to be back. It's good to be back on Post in the Diary Room. I hope everybody missed me as much as I missed reviewing the music. And let's just get to it, man. Excuse my voice because I'm a bit sick, but let's just get to it, man. Priddy Ugly has officially closed off his trilogy with the album titled Dust. This is also said to be his final album ever. You may remember that this is a project that comes after the release of albums such as Soil as well as Mud. Actually, a few months ago, before the release of the project, Stay Low and Priddy Ugly released a statement stating that this will be his final album. But there is a bit of, I don't know, unclarity as far as whatever it is that's going on out there. But my good guess is this is not him actually retiring. I think this may be his final album ever under Stay Low Entertainment. Now, onto the album. The album has 14 tracks. It features the likes of Madlera Doughboy, Tato Soul, Tyson Sabatelli, Ginger Chill, Zulu Mecca. It also has a runtime of 51 minutes, and it's been blessed by the hands of Mash Beats, Shooter Coombs, Herkite the Lights, as well as Kindly Nash. The project opens up with Falling, a song where Priddy Ugly actually asked for God's intervention because he is tired of falling. But he also then reflects on the painful passing of DJ City Lights by just echoing his hit single Vura just before he paints this picture of him looking at his killers in the eye just before they took his life. Most importantly, you could sense some disappointment in his voice when he started talking about these young niggas finding themselves in a situation where they want to sell their masters just to have gold chains. For me, this is obviously a good intro because it gave me an idea of what will be unpacked throughout the entire listen of this project. For example, the violence that leads to the death of a life. However, Njaka, being the banger that it is, features Madlera Doughboy and is placed as the second track on this project. Perhaps this is to draw you into the listen for a lot longer because the third track in this project is What's the Math, and the transition between the two joints is smoothened by the dogs barking at the end of Njaka as well as at the beginning of the song in question being What's the Math. Generally, Priddy talks about how life hasn't been the same since Cain and Abel. However, the work done by Mash and Herc on this song is so good. The album is filled with so many rematchups. The one in particular has to be the song So Disrespectful, because you may remember that Tyson Sabatelli as well as Priddy Ugly did do the joint I Can Bet on Tyson's project being present, and it's also fair to say that Tyson also brought his best foot forward on the song. The song has animated sounds of a car spinning that do come on when Priddy Ugly starts talking about the BMW M52 engine, but on the Tyson side of things, he plays around with words and juxtaposes Nelson Mandela's face with the buffalo, and both happen to be on the blue 100 rand. My favorite beat has to be Piece for Piece because it sounds very harsh and it has very sharp frequency. Priddy Ugly chose to be monophonic on this one, and he opened up about his sister taking a bullet to her chest for a mere cell phone. But importantly, he would then also link the title of the song with the story of his father having a gun, perhaps even alluding to the fact that peace was guaranteed by the fact that his father had a gun. The song is stacked with plenty of imagery. With the mention of Stan Lee, Priddy Ugly then makes it clear that it's not a comic when you're lying in the sand, pretty much making it clear that superheroes also have to die. We are then moved away from these grimy / harsh grating beats just after track 5, and the song I Ain't Got the Answers moves us into the space where the album is now laid back and chill. The lo-fi like beats that play during this part of the album actually enhance this thought. Ginger Chill and Priddy Ugly actually gave away some free game with their respective verses on this one, which had plenty of quotables at the same time, such as when Ginger Chill was like, "Are you working around the clock or are you just killing time?" I actually felt like both men in the song actually brought their best foot forward. No Plans has similar lo-fi like textures that I made mention of previously, but this is generally a love song, and I actually love it when rappers get into this bag, but also when it actually pans out or the execution actually pans out the way it was intended to be. It's always beautiful to see. One of the key themes explored throughout the listen of this project is death. On the song Rest in Power, God is actually met with questions from Priddy Ugly, because Priddy Ugly doesn't understand how God can allow people like AKA to die so brutally. And for me, the contribution of Ricky Rick is also an emotional one, because the song is also about him. Personally, I did not like the song Mosha. I actually felt like the song Mosha was a boring one. I think for me it's boring, it's a genuine skip for me, and it's pretty clear that the song was intended to be the banger, another banger of this project. But I think I'm fine with Njaka being the banger. I just didn't connect with Mosha. I think it was boring, it was met with a boring hook by K-Kid. Nothing interesting. I think even Black on here was just bogus. But Prophet, on the other hand, your energy's toxic, I'm not messing with your energy. Wow, what a beautiful song. I think it's a beautiful song. It's filled with strings, features kids. I think Priddy Ugly is also talking about money generally. He looks back on the times it was broke, and he mentions that whenever he's in Mpopo, he pays bribes, implicating him in corruption. But man, what a really cool song. I love that song so much. That song, Prophet, is just amazing. While on the other hand, the song Soul Food sees Priddy Ugly team up with Zulu Maka again, having collaborated on the first installation of the series Soil on the song Laid It Out. Apart from all of that, the song has naturalistic sounds, and I thought Zulu Meka was the focal on the song because wow, she had layers out there. She had a great verse. I actually liked her verse. Furthermore, Family Man sees Tato Soul and Priddy Ugly unpack traumatic township experiences such as people getting stabbed, people burning perpetrators with the tire, mob justice essentially. Tato Soul also carried a sob in his voice all the way until he finished his verse. I thought this was impactful because it then helped evoke something within the listener as he unpacks these traumatic stories. Importantly, as we near the end, Broken Home features a prayer from his daughter, and Priddy Ugly then speaks against suicides. He mentioned that it's not a joke, but also interestingly enough, he also made mention of the fact that he would like to have Jay-Z as a feature in one of his songs. Seemingly, that then tells us that this man is not going to retire anytime soon until he lands that important feature from Jay-Z. The outro for me also felt like an outro because no new information was then revealed at that point. It was just the re-emphasis of what had already been said during the course of the entire project. Honestly, this album sounds so clean. It sounds very well sequenced, well structured, but I still do hate the song Mosh. And my favorite song on this project is none other than Peace for Peace. I actually like the fact that Priddy Ugly decided to maintain or go dark with this very project because it then allowed him to unpack the things that South Africans actually go through, such as gun violence, mental health, the rife poverty that comes as a result of corruption. But I did actually feel like this project is relatable to me merely because of the contextual depth all over this project, and the replay value as well is something worth considering. I think this project deserves a 9 out of 10. What a way to end the trilogy. Post in the diary room, please kindly like, share, subscribe, comment, do whatever is necessary to engage with the content, and most importantly, I will see you on the next one.